Saturday evening, 7:01 officially here in South Georgia. And we thought we'd jump in here with just a quick hit about the game coming up on Monday night. Now, we've been doing this all week long. I have been working overtime, anticipating the game coming up on Monday. Actually, glad I'm not in Indianapolis, at least, on the outside, because high temperature for Indianapolis, I think on Monday is like 23 degrees. And snow and ice everywhere, and I don't do good in that kind of stuff. So now, if I were inside Lucas Oil Stadium, that would be a different kind of deal, and it'll be a balmy 72 degrees or whatever. They'll put the thermostat on inside the stadium. But I'm glad I'm in South Georgia, and see, in South Georgia, here's how we roll. You run with the heater running in the morning, and by the afternoon, you've got the air conditioning going. And this time of the year, with this weather we're having, we have no idea, how to dress or how to how to do anything when it comes to the weather, because it changes pretty quickly. But I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Love the South. Good to have you with us tonight. I know it's a Saturday night, and we're not going to take very long because Mrs. Hall is in the kitchen getting pork chops ready for yours truly. Some pork chops and fresh homemade biscuits and gravy and sweet potato pie and stuff like that. So I have a great motivation to make this a short and sweet hit tonight about the college football playoff game between Georgia and Alabama. And to be honest with you, not a whole lot of news, today. I think both teams probably wound up their practice schedule today. I think that's pretty accurate. And hey, Miss Shirley Lee. And I think, the practices tomorrow will be probably a very light, practice and run through some stuff. But today probably was the end of all the heavy hitting as far as practice is concerned. And then here we go. On Monday, January 10th, 8 p.m., Lucas Oil Stadium, Indianapolis, Indiana, on ESPN. Georgia continues to be a three-point favorite in the game. Continues to be. So that's kind of interesting. The money right now is on Georgia. Chad chimes in. He says, "Go Dogs." Yes, sir. Go Dogs. Just a few things, some interesting things from the news wires today. Some just interesting news we thought we'd share with you a little bit. Stetson Bennett, Stetson's been very accessible to the news media. He's talked a lot about his flip phone and, not caring about social media and what they're saying and that kind of thing. And Stetson Bennett, I think, is real. He's genuine. He is being honest about that. He's not listening to the noise. He's confident in his ability. He believes that he has the ability to carry Georgia where Georgia wants to go. But he made a very interesting statement, and it kind of resonated with a lot of folks. And to be honest with you, it kind of resonated with me. He said, "Look, Monday night, I'm either going to be the hero or the zero, one or the other." And he says he's going to do his very best. He's confident in his ability. He's confident in how the team is prepared and ready. But he said, in all honesty, I know what's at stake, and I know the expectations. And he says, when Monday night, when the game is over, he's either going to be the hero or the zero. Well, I got to be honest with you, Stetson. As far as I'm concerned, win or lose, you're still a hero to me. Now, I'm not trying to be sappy or sippy or anything like that, but this kid has done a fantastic job for Georgia. He's played great for Georgia this year. Georgia would not be in this position, most probably, without Stetson Bennett. So win or lose, Stetson, I'm in your corner, man. Go for it. So win or lose. There you go. Another kind of interesting thing that we saw on the line today, which is, kind of, to be honest with you, I'm trying to keep up with things. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Miss Brittany, how are you? Got you. Yeah, love Stetson. Another kind of interesting thing today, the news media. I mean, I guess I'm in media. But I don't feel like I'm in media. I feel like I'm not, but I guess I am. It's kind of interesting. The media made a big deal comparing the buses that the teams rode from the airport to their hotel rooms. Alabama arrived first yesterday in Indianapolis, and then Georgia, made their arrival in Indianapolis after Alabama. And a big deal has been made about how Alabama's buses were far superior in quality and appearance to the buses that Georgia rode on. That Alabama had, like Cadillac buses, and Georgia had like, maybe top of the line school buses to ride on. So there was a big deal made about that. See, that's that when you get to this point in the game, or this point in anticipation of the game, and you're a news media person, you're going to write about anything. You're just anything you can get a hand, because you want to stand out, you want to be unique, and I understand. So it's a big deal. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm kind of cut and dry kind of guy. I don't care what kind of bus they rode in, but it is what it is. Yep, gotta love Stetson. We do love Stetson. Jim Lovern, go Dogs. There you go. Got a lot of folks checking in on a Saturday night. Yeah, and another guy that's done a lot of talking this week has been Jordan Davis. He's been very accessible. Jordan Davis is just a unique individual. He is a top of the line kind of guy. I love the fact that before every game, Jordan finds his mama in the stands. Jordan's down on the field. He's getting ready. He's running through the warm-up drills and that kind of thing. He's down on the field. He finds his mama up in the stands. They meet over in the corner somewhere, and Jordan's mama prays over Jordan and prays for him and the team, for that they would be safe and Jordan would do a good job. And they pray for the other team as well, that no one will get hurt. I mean, that's just, yeah. But Jordan Davis has been very accessible. And he's a very bright young man, very appealing young man, and he has a wonderful sense of humor. And he said this about Bryce Young, Alabama quarterback Bryce Young. He said, Bryce is an extremely talented athlete. He's slippery. And I forgot, we were watching, I think, Hard Knocks with the Colts, and they were talking about the gingerbread man and how Kyler Murray, quarterback for the Cardinals, was running around like a gingerbread man. So that's what we've been calling Bryce Young this week. Just seeing him run around our defense in the SEC championship game, we have to tighten up. And so the Georgia defense has been calling Bryce Young the gingerbread man. He's just, wobbling and all over the place. Kind of interesting. Davis also said that he and other defensive players have been going against wide receivers, wideouts, in a practice drill that UGA calls the quarterback rodeo, to prepare them for, trying to contain Bryce Young. The Georgia coaching staff has also been directing the defensive players to track the hips of the quarterback. In other words, focus on the hips. He can juke you up high, juke you down low, but the hips, you can't juke anybody, fake anybody with the hips. So they don't get juked and miss as they get closer to Young. So kind of interesting. Now Bryce Young is the gingerbread man. So there you go. Chad. Yeah. Yeah. And Stetson, Stetson knows that. And I love Stetson, win or lose. Yep. He's a fine young man. All right, Brian, I'm with you. I'm trying to catch up with some of our comments here. Susan, go Dogs. Yeah. Okay. Well, we got some helloing going on here. That's all right. Let's see. Go Dogs, Otis. I'm with you, Otis. Yeah. There you go. Hey, Bryce Young, that's from the Ferguson household. By the way, we want you to pray for the Ferguson household. They're being afflicted by the COVID stuff, and they're great folks, just absolutely great folks. They are Alabama fans, but I love them anyway. So pray for the Ferguson folks. And Bryce Young's acceptance speech when he won the Heisman Trophy. He just a fine young man, just a stellar young man, and he gave glory to God for his goodness, for God's goodness and grace to him. So, just a fine young man. So, Stetson Bennett, hero to zero. Georgia buses coming in from the airport, not quite up to snuff with the Alabama buses. And also, Jordan Davis said something very interesting, just very candid in an interview on Saturday. Something that we kind of suspected as we watched the Georgia Alabama game in the SEC championship. Here's what Jordan Davis says. He admitted on Saturday that the Bulldogs did not have the proper conditioning coming into their 41-24 loss in the SEC championship game, and Alabama took advantage of them. And they did. The defense, especially Davis and the defensive line, looked very sluggish in the SEC championship game. Jordan Davis said this: "I'd say we were not as conditioned as we should have been, especially on my part." And he did. Jordan didn't have that game that you would expect. Definitely this week we've been working hard. Coach Smart has been working as hard. And he said, actually, I'm going to go run right now after this meeting when he was having this interview. And so Davis admitting that the Georgia Bulldog players, and then Scott Warner said something today, former great Georgia defensive back rate, about Georgia not really being into the SEC championship game, thinking they'd make the playoffs anyway, whether they won or lost. That may be how they played, but I don't think that's what they were thinking going into the game. They just stunk it up. And then they played angry against Michigan. And so there you go. The All-American, the high school All-American football game was today in San Antonio, Texas. That's a showcase for high school players, the best high school players in the country. And it was an interesting game. Georgia had a lot of their signed recruits in the game today. Gunnar Stockton and Delp, the big tight end recruit that signed with Georgia. So Georgia had a lot of players in that game. And Georgia did receive a big commitment today. And from Ernest Jalen Carter, we get the first. There you go. I hope so. Ernest Green, a 4-star offensive lineman from Bellflower, California, committed today to play for Georgia next season. Pretty big get. Green is ranked as the second best player at his position and the 40th player overall in the class of 2022 by 247 Sports. Green chose Georgia over Alabama, Ohio State, and Texas. Green said, "I have liked Georgia from the beginning. I have a good relationship with Coach Smart and Coach Luke. They've got a really good recruiting class coming in. I like their style of play, and I'll fit in really good with what they're doing." So Ernest Green committed today to the University of Georgia. Big get on the offensive line. For the Bulldogs for the next recruiting next year, this recruiting class and next year. The traditional signing day is February 2nd. So, recruiting is not over with yet. Transfer portal is still hot and heavy. Georgia, I think Georgia maybe picked up somebody in the transfer portal, but they're looking for the Oklahoma quarterback, Caleb Williamson, maybe to come to Georgia, and that would be a big get. So Georgia picked up a big recruit today. Paul Feinbaum, Paul Feinbaum. He's big SEC guru, has his show on ESPN, the college football show. Paul Feinbaum, high-class guy when it comes to media and talking about the SEC and that kind of thing. Feinbaum has made his prediction for the college football playoff game on Monday, and he said, "I am not going against Nick Saban." He said, "I've done it once or twice in my life, and I am not doing it again. I think he's the better coach than Kirby Smart. I think Georgia may have the better team on paper, but I don't think a lot has changed." And so he's going to pick Alabama. He's picked Alabama. Paul Feinbaum has picked Alabama to win the game on Monday. So go Dogs. Greg, how you doing, Greg? Let's see, a couple of other, not a whole lot, you still get those 5 things Georgia must do to win this game, 7 things that the water boys for each team must do to keep their team in the game. You still get a lot of those stories. And, they got to fill up the thing, and I understand. So I'm just a little cranky tonight because I smell my pork chops cooking. Oh, my sister's arrived in Indiana. So jealous. I'll be cheering for Georgia. There you go. Christian Miller, although ended up a dog in the end. Oh, Darrell, really? Cool. Let's see. Kirby Smart had, Georgia has lost a strength and conditioning assistant, Ben Souders, who was an assistant strength and conditioning coach at the University of Georgia, has left to take the head strength and conditioning position at Louisville, University of Louisville. Ben is considered one of the top young strength and conditioning coaches in the nation, according to Louisville head coach Scott Satterfield. And so Georgia has lost a coach, Ben Souders, strength and conditioning assistant. And so Georgia has a thing to fill, a position to fill on the coaching staff there. I thought we'd go back. Georgia has not beat Alabama in 7 games. Okay. So as a way of negatively motivating us to win, Tripp is sticking with 35-28. I said 35-17. That's what but Tripp's got it 35-28. I thought we'd go back and look at those 7 games, and this is motivation for us fans to pull our guys through. Georgia has lost to Alabama 7 straight times. The last time Georgia won against Alabama was September 22nd, 2007. Georgia on that day beat Alabama 26-23 in overtime. That was an early season game back in 2007. And then it's been 7 straight times that Alabama has beat Georgia. September 27th, 2008, Alabama beat Georgia 41-30. That was the game in which, Georgia was number 3 in the country, and Alabama, that's the second year of Nick Saban. And Alabama was up 31-0 at halftime and eventually won the game 41-30. Then December 1st, 2012, the SEC championship game, Alabama beat Georgia 32-28. Yep. Remember that one. If he hadn't caught the pass, just dropped the pass, and Georgia would have had another shot at it. October 3rd, 2015, Alabama beat Georgia 38-10. Oh, I hate to. January 8th, 2018, national championship game. Alabama beats Georgia 26-23 in overtime. December 1st, 2018, the SEC championship game. Alabama beat Georgia 35-28. October 17th, 2020, last season, Alabama beat Georgia 41-24. And then December 4th, 2021, SEC championship game, Alabama duplicated that score, beating Georgia, or the score was duplicated, 41-24. So it's been 7 straight times that Georgia has lost to Alabama. It's time to stop all that business, and it's time to get her done, don't you think? Time to get her done. So, Steve Spurrier says, "Hey, they got to win sometime." That's his reasoning. Hey, I'm going to pick Georgia because I got to win sometime, and hopefully it'll be this Monday. All right, Georgia. Deborah Kay says Georgia 37, Alabama 27. I'm going to be a nervous wreck after that game, but here's our plan. We're going to have a little hit tomorrow around 7:00. We'll, whatever news there is, we'll talk about it. And then on Monday, we'll be before the game. We'll have, we'll take a few minutes and go online, and you guys can talk it up. At halftime, we'll go online and we can all either, commiserate or have a little joyous celebration at halftime. And then after the game, we'll give you a chance. We'll come in here again and give you a chance to, do what you want to do, and we can all celebrate or commiserate or whatever. So that is our plans. Now I'm in South Georgia, and COVID is going a little crazy around here, and I think that's probably the case all around the country. Dogs 37-19 over Alabama. All right, Grady. I think Grady lives in Alabama. Yeah. So there you go. But COVID is, the cases of COVID with the Omicron have risen where we are. That may be the case where you are. So do me a favor, be careful. Just be really careful as you get out and about, and do all that preventative stuff. Okay. Oh, Grady says no, he doesn't live in Alabama. Okay, I got him confused. Sorry, Grady. Didn't mean to imply that you were in enemy territory. Anyway, just kidding. Be careful wherever you might be. It's Saturday night. I'm getting ready for church tomorrow, and thanking the Lord for his goodness and grace and mercy and love, and honoring him on the Lord's day. And I pray you do the same. And then on Monday, we're gonna watch Georgia and Alabama. I have jury duty Monday, so pull for me not to be caught on one of those things. Pickens is going to break out. I believe so. I think George Pickens, he had an attitude against Michigan. I mean, he's a wideout, but boy, did he ever lay a block on one of those Michigan players. And it was like his, he's mad. Georgia's going to beat Alabama 3-0. Now, if that happens, the world will be shocked. Okay. I got you. But anyway, all right, guys, pork chops are calling. I hope you have a good night. God bless you all, and be safe out there. We'll dip in here tomorrow with any kind of news we can come up with at around 7:00 or so. And then we will, we'll be seeing what's going to happen on a Monday. Until then, God bless you. And we always end our program like this. Go Dogs.